Hello, good morning, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another show. And this one is a little bit on a somber mood because Team Jamaica, the men in the 4x100 meters, they failed to qualify through to the finals. Now, on a morning where the excitement was high, anticipation was through the roof, we expected them to go out there and to get the job done. There was a team of Ryan Ford, Oblique Seville, Akeem Blake, and Kishane Thompson, a team that most of us were saying, "Whoa, this is a stacked team." We expected this team not only to compete, but to finish ahead of the pack. But there was one caveat. Team United States, they were lined up in this race as well. And I think it kind of changed everything because for us, the fans from home looking on, we knew that's what the lineup was going to be. But I think for the athletes who went out there on the track, it kind of got in their heads and they thought they needed to put more effort into this race than was actually required. As a result, that effort took away the focus from the baton exchange. And I always say this on the show time and time again. When it comes down to the baton exchange as well as to the hurdles, you need to focus on those exchanges and clearing those hurdles. Now, we're not talking about the hurdles in this one. The focus is on the baton exchange. If you don't focus on exchanging the baton, the time will not matter. These individuals, Oblique Seville, Akeem Blake, Raheem Ford, Kishane Thompson, they're all very quick. They're all very quick. They're all capable of dipping below 10 seconds individually. But as far as exchanging the baton goes, like Jamaica has been struggling, and I think we have a serious problem now. We can go out there and say this is a problem. We saw it with Julian Ford and I believe it was Johan Blake a couple of years ago as well. We cannot exchange the baton. What is happening there? I don't know. Michael Freighter is a relay coach, and uh, multiple occasions throughout the week we saw him on the local news, and he spoke about how the practice was coming on. I think they were even focused a lot on getting Brian Lavelle into the quartet, while I think the main focus should have been on actually exchanging the baton because right now Kishane Thompson and social media is in a frenzy. They're dragging Kishane there. Everyone plus their mommy is disappointed this morning, right? Everyone is disappointed because of the expectations that they had for this Jamaican team. As I said, as individuals, they are exceptional. Kishane Thompson and Oblique Seville, they finished first and second, for Christ's sake, in the flat 100 meters. So imagine having the world's two fastest, world's first and second place, world gold and silver medal champion in your relay team, right? Akeem Blake, I think in his own right, he can be competitive. He's usually amongst the big guns. He usually rubs shoulders with the fastest in the world. He is a sub 10 athlete. He gave Team Jamaica a wonderful start. The exchange from Akeem to Oblique Seville wasn't the cleanest, but regardless, the exchange got done. Then Oblique Seville, he passed it on to Raheem Ford, who again, not the cleanest, but they did what they had to do. Now it was time for Raheem Ford to pass it on to Kishane, and there was no exchange to take place. There was no exchange. Quite frankly, Kishane can't even hold a meds right now because he could not hold on to that baton. He could not hold on to that baton because his hand was at his side. He was, I don't know, is he in the military or something? Was he standing at attention? So many questions, so little answers. Because when Raheem Ford stretched out his hand to pass the baton, Kishane's hand was in his pocket. So I think Michael Freighter and the powers that be on Team Jamaica, they need to work on it. They need to look into it because I think the Jamaican athletes, especially on the men's side, they're too focused on going around as fast as possible. And as a result, the focus shifts from exchanging the baton because if you're going around as fast as possible without the baton, it's all good. Everything is fine. It's all good and rosy. But the moment a baton comes into play, from a Jamaican men's perspective, it seems as if the world comes crumbling down, right? And with the world comes the expectation of all the Jamaican fans at home. in their living rooms watching, at the sports bars watching and cheering on. Because I know this morning there was a chorus of you know what when that baton fell on the track. So it's one of those things where it's bittersweet, because we can still take some solace from the fact that the women did the business and they got it around and they're into the finals with the second fastest time. But the men, we had high expectations of them. We expected them to not only get to the finals, but to win the finals. And Jamaica has been starved right now in the 4x1 for men department. They are the world record holders. They are the world record holders, Usain Bolt and company, so many years back. And even that time, we had maybe 3 of the fastest men on the planet in Team Jamaica. So at that time, when Jamaica clocked the world record, we had 2 or 3 of the top 10 fastest men in the world lining up for Team Jamaica. So their focus was also on speed, but it was also on exchanging the baton. But right now, based on what I'm seeing from this team, the focus is only on speed. They don't care. They could care less about the baton. Quite frankly, it's almost as if the baton is non-existent. And although we had so much disappointment this morning, we saw Team USA, the 4x400 meter team, failing to qualify, failing to advance through to the finals of the 4x4 for men. We also witnessed Great Britain and South Africa missing out as well in the 4x100 meters. Great Britain missing out in the US in the 4x100 meters for women, sorry. All these compounded, they don't really affect us as Jamaican fans, but the fact that Jamaica's quartet of Kishane Thompson, Oblique Seville, Akeem Blake, and Raheem Ford weren't able to make it past the first round. And a Canadian team, which, if you look on paper, doesn't even get close to the Jamaican athletes, they were able to finish first. And this was the case at the Olympics as well with Team Canada, because they're constantly moving under the radar because they don't have the biggest names. Like, you'll have an Andre DeGrasse that pops out, but outside of Andre DeGrasse, people don't really turn their heads at a Jerome Blake or an Aaron Brown. So Team Jamaica, with all the talent in the world, they cannot for the life of me hold on to that baton. And once more, we're here. Once more, we're disappointed. Once more, we're talking about what could have been. Because Kishane Thompson, when his hands should have been up, looking to receive that baton, they were nowhere to be found. And I know folks will talk about Raheem Ford. Folks will talk about everything else, trying to shift the blame. And it's not a blame game. It is what it is, because they can only go up from here. A lot of the athletes that are lined up there, they're still pretty young, so they will get another opportunity to do it. But now is the time. Now was the time, really. Now was the time. Today was the day that they were supposed to get it right. And I know, again, Brian Lavelle would have been looking on and saying, if only, right? But we're going to leave it at that for now. We're going to turn it over to you, the Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, to hear what your thoughts are on this huge disappointment. Team Jamaica misses out as they did not finish their heat, a heat that was stacked for talent, because Team USA was there, Team Canada was there as well. But Team Jamaica, they failed to get the baton around the track, and as a result, they will not be in the finals of the 4x100 meters come tomorrow morning. Kishane, Oblique, Raheem, and Akeem Blake, know they'll be kicking themselves, especially having seen what the Clayton twins, Williams and company did in the female equivalent. So the Jamaican woman finished with a time of 41.80. This was the second fastest time in qualifying, and we expect there to be some changes. We expect there to be some shuffles come the final tomorrow morning. But Sha'Carri, she shut it down for Team USA. And for Team Jamaica, I expect Mommy Rocket to come out tomorrow morning to give us one final show before she hangs up those spikes. But again, I'm going to leave it at that, turning it over to you, the Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. What are your reactions to the disappointing performance from the Jamaican 4x100 meter team this morning that failed to qualify as they did not get the baton around the track? Let's have the conversation below this video. And if you haven't done so as yet, please remember, smash the like button and subscribe to Halftime TV. Have a wonderful Saturday. Until next time.